We're at the Chattanooga Arboretum and Nature Center. We're on a meager 317 acres compared to y'all's 3,500, but very similar. We have a few small bodies of water. We're mostly wooded. We do have some open fields, and we just let things be completely natural. If you come to our property, you get to our visitor center. You go in there and get oriented, and then we give you a map, which I brought one of if you want to look at it. And you can go through our different areas down by our treehouse and our paddler's perch, and then into the wildlife wonderland where the majority of our animals are. All of our animals have been injured in one way or another. They cannot return to the wild. That's why they live with us. We want them to be wild. We want them to go back to the woods, but their injuries prevent them from doing that. So we use them as animal ambassadors. Teach people about their species, about their habitats, why they're important, what they do for us, what they do for others, and why we need to conserve them, love them, and take care of them. So I brought a board today that shows you just an overview of everything. We have over 50 native species. Our keystone animal is the red wolves. Got a picture of a female right here. We have 8 red wolves. We had a litter in '07, and we had a litter in '11. And we're part of the Red Wolf Species Survival Plan. I can't bring the red wolves here, unfortunately. That would be a total disaster. So you have to look at them in a picture or come see us and you'll see them up close. We've got 4 females and 4 males. And the litter that was born in '07, we have 2 of those males left. The other 3 have been transferred to different facilities. And then the litter that was born last year, there were 2 females, and we still have both of them with their parents. They are still off exhibit. And then we have a bobcat. He doesn't travel. And we have all kinds of birds of prey. Snakes, lizards, toads, frogs, everything. So they all go, not all of them, but a lot of them go in the classroom. A lot of them travel in the classroom like today. And then a lot of them are just strictly exhibit animals that would wander through you. We educate about over 15,000 kids a year. And they come from different schools from all over the area. And they get a presentation from one of our educators, and then they walk the property and see different things. We've got awesome summer camps. If anybody's looking for something to do with the kids, we have really good summer camps. I see he's muddy. We have a mud pit. The kids, their favorite. The kids' absolute favorite. They do mud day, and they swim in the mud pit, and then we do a slip and slide to get them clean. And it's so popular, we even have a family mud day, and families come and play in the mud. It's really fun. And at the camps, the kids ride bikes, they hike, they walk up lookout, they come back down, they travel off-site depending on the age of the child, all that good stuff. So it's really fun. And I did bring a bunch of brochures if anybody's interested. One thing that's really popular right now is our canoeing. If you're a member, which is $60 a year for a family, $5 a month, it's the best bargain in the area. You get free canoeing. We've got all the canoes, all the PFDs, and all the paddles. All you have to do is show up, and you're off. We've got a cool floating dock. It's brand new. It's got a trough in it that you can pull the canoe through, get in, and you're off on Lookout Creek. So that is really, really popular. And if you do decide to do that, you can join on the web. You can join when you come visit. And the only thing you do is a little orientation video, and it's not teaching you how to canoe. It's just showing you where all of our equipment is, so you're not lost when you get on the property. And we do ask that you reserve a canoe. It's so popular, our canoes will be gone almost every day. So if you decide to do that, you need to reserve. We have a paddler's perch, which is really just an elevated cabin. It's an elevated spring porch, and you can rent it and sleep in it for a couple of nights. And you have canoe privileges when you do that as well. And then our treehouse is in a 100-year-old overcut oak tree. It's an $80,000 treehouse. It's awesome. People get married in it. People have lots of birthday parties in it. And that was all done by a grant. We were given a grant to have that done. We are a nonprofit 501c3. We receive no funding from city, state, or federal. We are strictly donations, grants, and memberships. So, a little overview. It's hard to tell you everything. It'd be kind of like how to describe this without seeing it. But I did bring 4 animals today, and I'll tell you some stories about them and give you a little bit of information about each one of them. And the first one I get out is our great horned owl. So he's a box over here, I'll get him out. Hopefully he's going to get this. little bit of history about him. I thought I had his baby picture on this board, but I don't. This is his picture right here, though. Back years ago, we used to do rehab. We used to be a licensed rehab facility in addition to all the other things we do. We stopped doing that several years ago. When we were doing rehab, he came in as an outlet with two of his siblings. Their tree had been cut down by a tree service. So the guys were good enough and brought him in. One of his siblings was rehabilitated and released. The other one unfortunately died in rehab, and he became habituated. A lot of people use the word imprinted. The true word is habituated. Unless you're a duck, then you can say imprinted. He either thinks that we're all owls or he's a human. So he's a little bit of a head case. He is the superstar at the Nature Center. He travels and goes in the classroom almost on a daily basis. He's really good on the glove. He doesn't mind being around people. He is moody. So we'll see what kind of a mood he's in. He makes different noises. He doesn't want to sit on the glove. He's just ready to be done. So far so good this morning. The first thing that people see when they look at him, eyes, right? Huge yellow eyes. Huge yellow eyes. He's nocturnal. What does nocturnal mean, guys? Say that.
Hunt at night.
Hunt at night. Perfect. So he's nocturnal. So he's going to have these big yellow eyes. So the moonlight can collect and he can see what's going on at night. He sees better at night than we do in the day. He's got awesome vision. Now those eyes are so big, if you make a fist and hold it up to your eye, that's how big our eyes would be if we had eyes as big as a great horned owl. Massive eyes. And the eye is so big, there's no room for muscle in there. It's just fixed in the socket. So as a human, we can hold our head still and we can move our eyes side to side, up and down, without moving our head. Owls can't do that. So in order to be able to see what's going on the side or somewhat behind them, they've got a 270-degree ability to turn. They cannot turn their head all the way around. That's not true. But they do have a tremendous ability to turn. So he can see what's going on. The next thing most people notice are these up here. What do y'all think those are? Just say it. Ears.
Feathers.
Feathers. They're feathers. They're called feather tufts. It's not an ear. It's a feather tuft. When he's alert, they stick up. When he's laid back, they're down. So he's really alert right now. And if he were out hunting and maybe something came along that might think about eating him, which is not much, he's pretty much top of the chain, he's going to put those feather tufts up too. It makes him look bigger and badder than he really is. So those are not ears. His ears are just little holes on either side of his head. And you can see the feathers right here. That's called a facial disc. Kind of makes a satellite on his face. And his ears sit just inside that facial disc. One is high and one is low. So not only do they hear really well, but they can tell where that sound is coming from. Super good hearers. The champion hearers in the entire world is a barn owl. And we actually have barn owls at the center. I don't think there's a picture of one. They hear better than any animal in the world. They can hear a mouse's heartbeat 30 feet away. So owls have tremendous hearing. But this guy really relies more on his vision than his hearing because his eyes are so big. Just checking it out. Then one of the other things everybody notices is his coloring. Awesome camouflage. If he were in the tree, hard to pick out, particularly if he has his eyes closed. Really, really great camouflage. And then if you look at his feet are feathered, right? Nocturnal animals have feathered feet because it's cooler at night. So it helps keep their legs warm. And sometimes when I come in the evenings, he'll be sitting all hunkered down and he'll take these feathers right here and drape them over his talons so he'll get his feet completely warm. Now look at his beak and look at his talons. Everybody see him? That's his fork and his knife.
Can I go somewhere
He
else?
doesn't have hands like we do, but he uses those to eat. He's known as the silent hunter or the tiger of the woods. He's got on his primary wing feather, he's got a little bit of, yeah, that's a bad move. He's got some fingering on that primary wing, and that's what allows the wind to blow through so you can't hear him coming. We'll do that in just a second. So when he's sitting up in the tree waiting for his dinner, he's not out really actively looking. He's a wait-and-see hunter. He'll sit up in the tree, and when a little something comes by, he swoops down, usually will grab it in his talons, transfer it to his beak, and break its neck. And then he'll carry it back to a tree where he can sit and eat it. And if it's a little mouse, he'll throw the whole thing back. If it's a big rat or a big snake or a big songbird, he has to pick at it to pull it apart. And so he uses his beak to do that. He'll hold it in the foot, lean over, and pick at pieces so he can throw it back and eat it. Now what you see him doing right now, birds don't sweat. So that's how he helps himself stay cool. The pressure on his feet have, don't quote me on this, it's over 200 pounds per talon. It's stronger than an alligator bite. Tremendous amount of pressure. Tremendous. This is 3 layers of leather, and it actually has Kevlar in the middle. So I don't get talon. And when your glove starts to fail, you can feel it very quickly, and then you order new gloves. So you don't have holes. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is knock him off balance, and if everybody's really quiet, you might hear some of this stuff jangling around, and I'll tell you about that. But hopefully, you're not going to be able to hear his wings, so you can hear he's a silent hunter. So we'll knock him off balance and see. So he swoops down against his prey flag, you know what happened. Look at that wingspan, isn't he beautiful? This is a spectacular animal. Awesome hunter. That was Mobs just getting ready to say that. Y'all just holler out, what do you think he weighs? 70 pounds, 10 pounds. You're educated, you can't guess.
I'd say 52.
Who said 2?
I'd say 2.5.
About 2. About 2. He's all feathers. And birds have hollow bones. If they had solid bones like we did, they'd never get off the ground. So they actually have a hollow bone. It's been described to me before as the inside of a corrugated box, that little ridging, you know. So if you think of that, it's not totally hollow like a straw, so there is some rigidity in there, but it's pretty hollow. He's got to be lightweight or he'd never make it off the ground. And he is all feathers. So he weighs about 2 pounds. In the bird of prey world, girls are bigger than the boys. At the Nature Center, we always say girl power. The girls are about 1.5 times as big as the boys. So we do have a great horned female, and she is a very large bird. And she's tough, too. Okay, any questions about him? And then we'll move on to the next animal. Ask me. Go ahead. Do you remember? Okay. How old is he? Great question. He's been with us since 1990.